Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cage's Coaster Reviews. And today I will be showing you my top 10 favorite steel coasters as requested from 2U in the comments section from last video. So figured I'd do that. So let's get right into the list. It's coming in at number 10. We have the B&M Flying Coaster Manta at SeaWorld Orlando. And this ride is 56 miles per hour, 140 feet tall, and the stats and the ride experience really makes up for the lack of stats. Yes, it's not very fast, but the pretzel loop is so intense. Even though that's really the only intense part of the ride. Theming is awesome. You go through like a bunch of trees and over the water with this timed fountain that goes off right when the train passes. And this is just overall really, really fun ride. I'm a big fan of flying coasters. At number 9, we have a B&M Invert at Kings Island. This is Banshee. And the stats are great on this ride. It's 164 feet tall, 68 miles per hour. Over 4,000 feet of track. I mean, you just ask yourself, when is it going to end? In a good way, not in a bad way. But, like, super long, especially compared to other inverts like Batman the Ride. It's really intense. Like I said before, the stats are awesome. And front row on this ride is definitely the best because you get the good view. On any invert, the front row is usually the best. Even though back row is a lot more intense. But, I mean, I really love this ride, even though it's an invert coaster. Okay, coming in number 8, we have another B&M coaster. A lot of B&Ms on this list. This is Gatekeeper at Cedar Point. This ride is 170 feet tall, 67 miles per hour, and it's actually pretty forceful for a wing coaster. Wing coasters aren't really known to be that forceful, but Gatekeeper is pretty forceful. Not pretty intense, not too intense, but really intense for a wing coaster. And I love the wing overdrop. The keyhole elements are awesome. I do think this ride is a bit overrated, but it's still overall a great ride. Coming in at number 7, we have Magnum XL 200. This is Aerodynamics Hypercoaster at Cedar Point, 205 feet tall, 72 miles per hour. Has some great airtime. I mean, it is your standard out and back hypercoaster, but you can't go wrong with the hyper. I mean, I think it's just as good as some of the B&M hypers out there, but like Silver Star, it's a weaker one. Goliath at Laurent. I don't know. But I just love this ride. The tunnels at the end are good. Really, really, really good airtime. And it's the original hypercoaster. It's super iconic. You gotta love Magnum XL 200. Alright, number 6, we have Mr.Freeze Reverse Blast at Six Flags St. Louis. This is a Premier Rides launched shuttle coaster, meaning it goes both backwards and forwards. This ride is 218 feet tall, 70 miles per hour, and though it is a short ride, it definitely makes up for that in the ride experience. This ride is just incredible. The launch is awesome, the inverted top hat's great, and the best part's definitely that vertical spike. In the back row, you get so far up that, and you get great hang time. And then going through the whole circuit, the whole layout again, forwards, it's just an incredible ride. I did originally have this in my top 10, but I replaced this at my number 9 spot with another coaster, Kraken at SeaWorld Orlando. And if I did make my top 10 currently right now, I would put Kraken at number 10 or 9, because I just realized that I kind of like this better than Mr. Freeze. It's just super intense, super long, 7 inversions. Easily one of the best floors coasters. I'd say second best, only to fall short of Superman Krypton coaster at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. But this ride is just incredible. Super intense, like I said before, really forceful. It's got some good tunnels with the head chopper elements. Very long ride. I mean, this is easily one of the best floors coasters. Okay, number 4, we have Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point. This is an Intamin launched coaster, 420 feet tall, 120 miles per hour. I mean, the launch is awesome. Very smooth launch, unlike King Dakar is known to be. I've never rode King Dakar, but I've heard it's pretty shaky and not as good as Thrill Dragster, and I love how it has lap bars and King Dakar doesn't. So I honestly think this is better than King Dakar. But yeah, the launch is great. I wouldn't say it's intense, but I'd say it's forceful. And the drop is okay. I kind of disagree that it kind of spirals down. I wish it was just a straight drop. That'd be kind of more scary, especially going straight down. But it's still really fun roller coaster. Number 3, we have B&M Hypercoaster Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America. This ride is 202 feet tall, 73 miles per hour. And this is the only B&M Hyper Twister coaster, and I think they need to make a lot more of these. I honestly think this is one of the most underrated coasters out there. Everybody just says it's not like the other B&M Hypers that focuses on airtime, but I like this so much that I don't care I love how it doesn't focus on airtime. There is a couple airtime moments, but the first drop is really great. I love in the back row, you get a pre-drop, as you see in the top left corner. And then it just lasts so long, and it goes right into a tunnel. Really fun. And after the first drop and overbank hammerhead turn, it's not really much very forceful, intense, but I really can't feel the trimming as much as I did on the other B&M Hyper Diamondback in the back row. But this is overall a great ride. I love how it shows its speed more than airtime, and I think there needs to be a lot more B&M Hyper Twisters out there. Number 2, we have the other B&M Hyper Coaster Diamondback at Kings Island, and I like this ride a little bit better than Raging Bull, just because it's almost 30 feet taller, it's faster, 230 feet, 80 miles per hour. The drop isn't as good, even though it is steeper, but it has great airtime. Back row, you could kind of feel the trimming. I recommend that you ride this in the second row, where you got a lot more space, and you still get the view like the front row, because it's got the V-style seats, and it combines airtime with a little bit of twistiness in there too. But I love how it goes out in the woods. Great airtime, like I said before. That splashdown is great. I took a picture very similar to this, and it's just really cool to look at. And this is just overall really, really good ride. Okay, before we get into the number pick, here are some honorable mentions. We have Expedition Everest, Raptor, Batman the Ride, Rock and Roller Coaster, Superman Ultimate Flight, Firehawk, and X-Flight. And the number 1 pick, you probably already know it, Millennium Force at Cedar Point. And this ride is just phenomenal. 310 feet tall, the original Giga Coaster, 93 miles per hour, super fast, and a lot of coaster enthusiasts say this is overrated, and I highly disagree with them. I wouldn't say it's underrated. Like I said before, I kind of changed my mind from the other video, but I just think it's unappreciated. That they just think like so many other coasters are better than it, even though they might be, but no one really likes Millennium Force anymore. I like top 10 roller coasters that I've seen, like a lot of top 10 steel coasters, or top 20. They put this at like number 15 or 14, but it's just unappreciated. It has great airtime, good overbank, super fast. The drop is awesome. Love that cable lift hill. It's kind of scary, honestly. I was pretty scared going that fast up the lift hill, and you're right by the water. To the left of you, Lake Erie. You look straight down and you see the shores, and it's just awesome. This is just a very, very fun ride. Best ride at Cedar Point, maybe until Steel Vengeance, and I haven't rode Maverick yet. Maverick might be better, but still, Millennium Force is just a really fun ride. My favorite roller coaster that I've ridden. Alright, so that's going to be it for today's video, and I gave you some more suggestions. So yeah, write down in the comments what you want me to make for my next video. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time on Cage's Coaster Reviews.